Next news comes from Chechnya, the first concentration camp for homosexuals since Hitler's camp in the 1930s, is currently torturing and using electric shocks and beating to death gay men. As a matter of fact, last week, 100 gay men were detained, and three of them have been killed, according to reports. According to a Russian newspaper, several camps have been set up in Chechnya, so this is not the only one. Those arrests include well-known local television personalities, religious figures, and we have some reports from prisoners who have escaped that have said that others were beaten to force them to reveal the identity and the location of other members of the gay community.
Holy shit. Um, this is crazy.
Right, and this has been going on since February of last year, but as early as last week, things have been really ramping up, and this is when they've been opening up these extra camps and really trying to target this community.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first concentration camp for gays since Hitler, right? Since World War II.
Right, right, since the 1930s.
Oh, fuck. How many? Did you mention how many people are in these camps?
Uh,
Um.
we don't have an exact number on how many are in all the camps, but we do know that
Oh.
just last week, 100 gay men were arrested and detained.
So that's 100 addition to whoever is already in these camps, right?
Right, correct.
And this, so we now have prisoners who. How did this prisoner escape?
We
Good for
we
him.
don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't know how that they escaped, but we know that this has been going on for a while. And in fact, last year there were reports that this prison, these concentration camps, were allowing homosexuals to return early on the condition that their family kill them. So they were releasing them to their own families so that they could perform honor killings.
Wait, what? They are releasing them with the condition that their family actually kills them.
Correct. And
What the fuck?
the
Like what? So they say they won't kill it themselves, but they want the families to do the job for them. I don't
Right,
understand.
because they don't want to report. They don't want them to have any government benefits. So they're taking away their visas, and they're telling them that they can go free on basically one of two conditions. They either leave Chechnya forever without anything, without a passport or basically any sort of identity. But basically, it all comes down to President Kadyrov not wanting any gay people in the Chechen Republic.
Okay, and do you know what kind of why is this? Is this religiously motivated or just pure homophobia? Is that
It seems to just be pure homophobia. I'm sure that there's some sort of religious influence, whether it be Catholic or whatever. I'm not sure, and I wouldn't go as far as to speculate.
right?
But I do know that this President Kadyrov and President Putin are allies, and Putin
Right.
has yet to say anything about this. And apparently, in even in Russia, in Moscow, this is big news, and everybody knows about it, and nothing's being done.
Right. I mean, I know the guy. He is a bit religious, so it might be religiously motivated, right? So, and
Right.
he does use religious propaganda to. I don't know. I mean, sometimes okay. So it's a chicken and egg thing, right? Is somebody religious and therefore they're homophobic, or they're homophobic and they're just using religion to make excuses for their homophobia. Some people are homophobic without religion, but
Right.
either way, religion is always a negative force. Whether you're homophobic because of religion is a negative force, or you're just homophobic and you're using religion as a cover, religion still is a negative force. It does mention that those arrested include well-known local television personalities and religious figures. So even some
Right.
religious people were arrested.
Correct. And this all started because one man got arrested in February of last year on a drug related offense, and in order to let them go, they he provided them with locations and names of a whole bunch of people, and just they created an entire suspect list,
Mm.
and they started doing these what they're calling gay raids, where they were raiding these places that they would get information from other people that they have detained.
Wow, we have a lot of comments on this one. Wow, this one got a lot of comments. Okay, so the top comment is from Austin. He said, "Proud atheist. This would not happen if everybody didn't believe." Sometimes usually I would be skeptical about this because without religion, people will still be there will still be homophobia. But I would agree that if without religion, there would be less excuses for gay discrimination, and without religion, I
Right.
think the amount would be enough for us to be able to force people that are homophobic not to be able to prosecute gay people, right? So I would actually, I would agree with what Austin is saying here. Marin is saying this is the problem with atheism. You have no love of God in you. Hatred will never end as long as there are people who feel they need to hate someone who is different from them. What the fuck? This is why is
What?
this on this?
What?
Why is this on this? Your
What?
comments. Yeah, Kenneth is saying your comment shows the importance of education. This has nothing to do with atheism. Yes, and I'm not sure how did she manage to get 100. Oh, maybe because most of the reaction, how she got top comments, because most of the reactions she got was laughing. Okay, Andrew. And Andrew is saying, and the U.S. has concentration camps for migrants. Fuck you, Andrew, for trying to compare everything to the United States. The United States,
Well,
United States is not the entire fucking planet. The world doesn't evolve around. Oh my God, everything.
yeah, yeah. The United States is not a great thing to set as a standard. Like it's really a piss poor standard. So people should
No,
really stop
no,
using
I
it.
would actually disagree with you, Jim. The United States is better than most places, but it has its
But as a
problem.
standard,
What? No,
but
not
but
a
as
standard. No,
as a
it's not a
standard,
standard. But no, it's not a standard. But I think a lot of people in the United States are so self-obsessed with their country that every world news that they get, they think the whole world revolves around the United States, right? So they see the world as the United States and everywhere else. Like it's just like two parts, right? So every time you say something bad about anywhere in the world, they're like, "Whoa, we have it worse here than in the United States." First of all, most of the time, no, you don't. You have problems, but it's not. There are some examples that is worse, but this is fuck Andrew. This what happened? Okay, so what happened to migrants, children in the United States? Those are horrific and they're bad, right? But it's nothing compared to having a concentration camp for gay people. It's
right?
nothing
These
compared to that, right? And
these people were forced into small rooms, 40 people in these tiny rooms, and they were beaten with pipes, their legs broken, they were tortured with electricity, they were hooked up to live wires and plugged in
right.
and unplugged and plugged back in and unplugged. They were mocked, they were insulted, they got spit on, and they had to live in their own shit and piss. I mean, that
Right.
is I mean, yeah, like Armin said, it's beyond comparison.
Yeah,
You
but
can't
this
compare
is
it to
but this is not a failure in logic. This is just a failure in this. The source of this is basically being so self-obsessed that you have to make everything about the United States. You know what I mean? Like
right.
I think that's the motivation here. It's called the oppression Olympics, right? You have to be the victim, and if you ever point to other victims, you can't, you can't. You have to be your country has to be the worst country, right? You have to have it
Right.
worse. You can't have 5 minutes focusing on some other country's problem. You have to somehow bring it back to yourself. Vicky is saying like the camps they have here for immigrants. Oh my God, Vicky, the same
Oh.
thing. shut,
Oh man.
shut the
And the
fuck up.
next one.
Yeah, Karen. Karen also the next comment. And the world just no. Okay, no. Karen is good. The world just watches. Well, yeah. So let's see what the other one next one is. The whole okay, but In the YouTube live chat, the Mad Atheist is saying is Chechnya the Muslim area? Yes, Chechnya is Muslim, right? And
Yes.
this guy is also uses Islam as a huge propaganda in boosting his own profile, and I don't know if this is his own homophobia or if he's trying to appease other Muslim leaders or in his country. I don't know.
Atheist Republic's mission is to give atheists around the world a louder voice. In order for us to be able to continue the Atheist Republic, we need your help. If we reach 100 patrons, we'll finally be able to afford all our costs. Help us get there.